Alright, so we're back with another video on some movement with your skates on while we're here stuck at home. If you haven't already, go back and watch the first video. It's a great warm-up. Get your feet wet, break back your skates back in, get them loose, and some good ways to get moving again. So go back and watch that. Another thing, make sure you tell mom and dad you're doing this before you just put on your skates, and highly recommend and telling you put on some skate guards because they're going to be important. You don't want to tear up the carpet, things like that. So with today's video, we're going to talk about how to get on the edge properly. So this is what's called perfect skating. The idea here is how to be in a correct position with your body and how to be on your edge in a correct manner. All right, so we're talking about like biomechanics, how your body moves, how your edges move, and how to sit and sink properly into your boot. Right, so it's really important. So first thing we need to focus on is how do we sit in our boots correctly? Well, as you know, when you put on your skates, you should probably give a little kick back. You've seen guys do this, maybe you do it yourself. And why do we do that? Because we want our heel in the back of our boot. And why is that? Well, where's your power, motion, all begin with when we go for a forward stride, right? Where's your energy stem from? Right? Well, it's going to stem from your heel, all right? So that's important to know how to feel your heel in your boot, okay? It's very important, right? We see sometimes guys got a lot of lean or they're a little too upright, and they're still trying to figure out how to find that proper edge for you players out there. And it's important that you know this and understand this and can feel it in a proper manner. So first thing we're going to do here is we're going to sit in our skates, okay? And we're going to think about and feel, okay, because that's the thing here, it's a feel object of feeling your heel in the back of your boot, okay? So we want to make sure that our heel is flat, our heel's in the back of our boot, and that when we kind of just simply get in a little bit of a simple hockey position, so we're going to push our hips back because that's so important, right? Everything is stemming from our hips, right? So we push our hips back, so we're hinging and we're sinking a little bit, and we want to feel in this manner, we want to feel our heels, all right, in the bottom of our boot, right? When you feel it in the back of our boot, not a whole lot of energy is on your toes. Vast majority of the energy and pressure should be on your heel, okay? Because that's where energy is coming from. That's what's keeping us stabilized in this manner, right? With that in mind, right, we want to make sure though that our ankle, okay, is in the middle of our boot. You don't want your ankle leaning, all right? As you can see here, I'm kind of leaning inside or outside when we go. We don't want our ankle pushing to the inner outside of our skate, all right? Sometimes you guys will do crossovers or a lot of edge work, come off and be like, oh, my ankle's hurt. That's because you're not sitting correctly in your boot, right? Or if you go to skate backwards or, try to go on the outside edge, whatever, you find that you got a lot of ankle pain, right? Again, it's because you're bending at the ankle instead of leaning into your edge, which means, again, we're not sitting properly in our boot. So, again, feet are shoulder width apart, little hinge in the hips, so push your hips back, sink a little, feel your heel flat into the back of your boot, feel that pressure there, and sink. Again, I'm gonna put my pant leg to show you. Give you an idea that my ankle is staying in the middle of my boot. That's so important. I don't have it leaning to one side or the other, staying in the middle, heels flat, right, and I'm feeling that, okay? And that's the most important thing. You gotta understand and you gotta feel it. You should kind of come up, relax for a minute, get an idea, and go back down and try it again. Right? You gotta understand this because if you want to be a good skater, you gotta understand where your energy is coming from. You gotta understand where the pressure points are. All right? This is why it's so important. Right? Skating is the most important skill. Not shooting, that's stick handling, that's hockey sense, but skating. If you can't skate, you can't move on in the game. So again, let's find that heel, sit back, sink, go hinge, and again, make sure, as you can see here, the ankle is nice and steady in the middle of my boot. So that's the first thing. Work on that. Okay, work on it a couple different times, 3-4 times, find it. All right, when you come down, you can hold it for a second. Again, heels flat. All right, ankle in the middle of your boot. You can hold it, 10-20 seconds. All right, pop up until you really get good at it. All right, it's very important because it's going to matter when you go into more trickier details of skating. With that in mind, if we were on ice, we'd then take this motion and we apply to working on our inside edge, okay? So when we go to push and ride a C-cut for an inside edge, that whole technique of sitting in your heel, your hips hinged, all right, and having your ankle in the middle of your boot is what's gonna help you properly ride an inside edge, okay? So I'm gonna kind of go on a little bit of angle here and show you if I was pushing from my left foot to go onto inside edge of my right foot, again, I'd be leaning on my inside edge, okay? And I'd be sinking into my heel, and I'd be making sure that my ankle is in the middle of my boot, all right? I'm not leaning in excessively, I'm not upright excessively, just in a nice, perfect manner, okay? So put your foot a little bit of an angle. You're gonna feel that inside edge just a tiny bit, leaning in. You're gonna sit into that heel of your right foot, and I'm gonna make sure my ankle's nice and steady in the middle, okay? It's so important that you understand this, because if you can't do it, again, you will not be able to get on a proper edge correctly. If you can't get on a proper edge, then you're not gonna be a good skater. So it takes time, lots of practice, lots and lots of repetition. Skating is something that doesn't happen overnight, doesn't happen in a month, doesn't happen in a season. It's something you have to constantly work on. The top guys like McDavid, Crosby, Giroux, you guys are always working on their skating. Never stops. So same thing for the left foot, all right? Again, let's push off the right to kind of ride inside edge on my left foot, all right? I'm gonna sink back, hips are hinged, because that's where all of our energy is coming from, is our hips. Heels flat, all right? I'm staying in the middle of my boot, so like so. Just kind of leaning a tiny bit onto that inside edge, just like so. So if I come back up, all right, pull my leg up just to show you a little bit better, all right? Sit back, sink, hinge, heels flat in my boot, all right? More of my energy is on my heel, not so much on my toes right now, all right? And I'm gonna feel my ankle stay in the middle of my boot and be able to hold that steady, okay? So you wanna understand that, because when we go now into a push, so a forward stride, that same concept is applied to this matter of pushing to get us power and to get us up the ice, all right? So when we go to push on the inside edge, we know we have, basically, you have to use your body and you have to have a proper angle on the inside edge to push, okay? And there's a difference. So you can have this, which is, as you can see, that's a lot of push. If you can look at my right foot or my left foot here, like that. That's a lot of inside edge. That's an excessive amount of edge. That means then your inside boot here is gonna be scraping against the ice, and that's gonna take away from our power to get us up the ice, and that's not what we want. At the same time, all right, we don't wanna be upright. We don't wanna be, too much straight up in any way, shape, or form, because now we're not getting anywhere, we're not getting enough angle in that aspect to be able to push. So we need to find that proper middle ground. Well, here's what it looks like. Again, going back to hips are hinged, staying down flat in your heel, all right? And keeping your ankle in the middle of your boot. I'm going to work on finding that proper inside edge. And here's what it looks like. I'll try to show you from some different angles here. Roll my pant leg, just to give you an idea. Again, ankles below my boot. I'm not leaning. You don't have outside edge. I'll show you from here. My outside edge is not, the outside of my boot is not pushing against the outside of my ankle. We don't want that, okay? I want to sit down, hips hinged, in the middle of my boot, heel flat, and I'm going to find that proper inside edge, just like that, right here. That's it. Simple as that. It's not down, it's not upright, it's just a little, okay? That's it, just a little bit, right? If you sit, you'll be able to feel that inside edge. As soon as it comes down into contact, you'll find that the whole inside of my foot, from my big toe all the way back into my heel, are all properly have just enough pressure on them, even them out, all right? Again, heels flat, hips are hinged, and I'll be able to push. See how simple that was? Because I'm on the correct edge, right? Because I'm not excessively leaning. So my left foot, same thing, all right? Sit back, find the edge, all right? Go back and forth below, you can wiggle around, and you'll feel, if you lean too much, you'll be like, whoa, that feels weird, because you'll feel your boot rubbing against your ankle too much. But if you're upright, you're like, there's no push right there, right? So if I get down like a correct, find my inside edge, all right? Heels flat, all right? Ankles in the middle of my boot, all right? Just find that inside edge now. See how I can just come forward and lunge in a nice, easy manner? Because everything's lined up correctly, okay? So you wanna find that, you wanna work on that, all right? So find your inside edge. You can do it in a V also, just give you a little idea. Just work on finding the inside edge. Again, heels are flat, ankles in the middle of your boot. They're not moving to one side or the other, right? And we're just leaning a little bit in that inside edge. So important. Again, it's something you have to feel. It's not a whole lot of visual movement or motion. It's something you gotta feel in your body, okay? Same thing then, if we're doing and outside edge, okay? I see this a lot of guys, you know, gals, you get on the outside edge and you have a lot of problems because what happens is you have this tendency to go like this, all right? You guys all heard the term of a bender, all right? That's because basically what's happening is we're breaking the straight line from our leg into our ankle, okay? So basically we've got a broken straight line here because too much pressure is being applied to the inside of our boot there because we're leaning too much on the outside. We don't want that, okay? We want a straight line from our knee all the way down into our foot, into our ankle, okay? Again, we want to make sure that our heel is flat, that we're staying in the middle of our boot, and we're just leaning on a proper amount of edge, okay? It's not excessive like this. We're not upright, all right? Hips are gonna be hinged because again, all your energy is coming from your hips when you skate. It's not good enough to just bend your knees. That's what we do at the little level from lights. That's what we teach you to get you going. Now when you start getting older, we talk about getting your hips hinged and sinking, okay? Your knees will go along with you for the ride. So with your outside edge, all right, you wanna find the outside edge, hips are hinged, heels are in the flat, all right? In the back of your boot, staying flat, staying steady, and you're gonna make sure that your ankle stays in the middle of my boot, okay? As you can see, that's it. I'm completely right there, my outside edge. That's as simple as that. So if I were to go and push, all right, and ride an outside edge, again, this whole concept's gonna come into play because you need to have your body in a correct manner, all right? So it would be push, all right? Hips are hinged, heels sunk down into flat, into the bottom of your boot, right? You're feeling that pressure and you're keeping your ankle steady to ride that outside edge. Same thing with the left foot, all right? Sink down, hips are hinged, heels flat, all right? Ankles in the middle of your boot. Again, we're not having an excessive lean, all right? Keeping that ankle steady, and I push and hold that outside edge. You can just try this in a static hold like that. Simple things going back and forth and feel it. Again, I'll put my hand here just to give you an idea. If I lean too much, see how I just fall? We don't want that, okay? You should be able to hold that steady, right, in a correct manner because I'm on a correct outside edge, okay? It takes time, it takes patience. Again, you gotta feel it. Just feel your body move, feel your muscles connect, and feel the pressure points, all right? Have fun with it. Take your time. Just takes a lot of hard work, but if you continually, work at it and do it on a regular basis, you'll get better. All right? Stay tuned. More videos are coming out with this. Questions, comments, concerns, let me know.